I came home for the holidays, but when my mom opened the door, she said, "You're not invited. This is only for family." I didn't say a word. I just turned around and left. A few minutes later, my sister texted me, "Don't take it personally. You know how you are." I just smiled, froze the shared bank account, stopped paying for the bills, and canceled all the credit cards. By the next morning, my voicemail was full, and the family group chat was going crazy. I hadn't been home in almost 2 years, not since the last Thanksgiving, which ended with my uncle ranting about politics and my mom crying because I left early. This year, I thought maybe things had changed, maybe they missed me. I sent my travel plans 3 weeks before. No one replied, but I thought they were just being cold. Still, I decided to come. The flight was long, and the drive was even longer. I stood at the door with a pie I bought, hoping it would help ease the tension. Before I could knock, the door opened. My mom stood there wearing the sweater I gave her for her birthday 3 years ago. She looked at me like I was a stranger. Her words made my heart sink. I didn't fight back. I didn't ask why. I didn't look to see who else was there. I just turned around, went back to my car, and drove until I found a gas station with good signal. That's when my phone buzzed. It was my sister, always acting like the peacemaker when it worked for her. I read her message, gave a quiet laugh, and tossed my phone onto the seat beside me. By the time I got home, I already knew what I was going to do. The joint bank account frozen, the auto payments I'd been covering for the house, water, electric, internet, the credit cards I let them use for emergencies gone. I went to sleep without guilt, let them figure it out. By morning, I had 9 voicemails, my mom, my sister, even my cousin, who never gets involved. My sister left a long one about being blindsided. Someone posted in the family group chat asking if anyone else's cards stopped working. I didn't answer. I just watched it all unravel, one panicked message at a time. By noon, I had 2 missed calls from my brother, the same brother who hadn't spoken to me in nearly a year. Unless he needed something fixed or funded. That was usually his role, act too proud to ask for help until rent was due, then suddenly remember I existed. No voicemail this time, just hang-ups and a few texts that started passive-aggressive and got less polite as the hours passed. My sister sent 3 voice notes in a row, then followed them with a wall of text about how this was an overreaction and bad timing. She said they didn't think I'd actually show up, that I always make things about myself, that mom was just stressed. I didn't reply. I wasn't going to play therapist to a family that forgot I was blood the moment I moved out and made something of myself. I didn't freeze the account out of spite. I froze it because I realized I was the only one treating it like a lifeline. Everyone else treated it like a bottomless well, utilities, groceries, even a few recurring charges for streaming services I never used. I hadn't been living under that roof for 3 years. I wasn't even using the Wi-Fi, but I was the one paying to keep the lights on. No one thanked me, not once. That afternoon, the group chat was blowing up. My sister was trying to explain what happened to extended family without making herself or mom look bad. My cousin asked why the electricity wasn't working. My brother sent a half-dozen short messages asking who messed with the cards. No one mentioned my name, but it was clear they all knew. I stayed silent, just watched. I saw them try to make sense of it without admitting the truth. I had been the one quietly propping them up. When I pulled back, the whole thing collapsed in less than a day. No one had the nerve to tag me. No one asked directly, but the panic was right there, in between the lines. Still, no one called to say sorry, not even mom. Not even once. By the 3rd day, the calls slowed down. Maybe they were embarrassed. Maybe they thought ignoring me would fix it, that I'd come crawling back with an apology and a payment plan. They didn't realize I had receipts, literal ones. I started pulling bank statements, every charge, every transaction. Every automatic payment I'd been covering while they acted like I was the selfish one. Rent shortfalls, surprise dentist bills, Uber rides to nowhere, a suspicious order from a luxury site my sister swore she never used. It was all there, years of convenience disguised as entitlement. I made a spreadsheet, not out of revenge, but for clarity. Sometimes you need to see it in black and white to accept just how far things have gone. I added dates, amounts, who made the charge. By the time I was done, I realized they owed me just over $18,000, quietly borrowed, conveniently forgotten. That same night, my sister posted a vague status on social media about fake family members and money-changing people. I didn't engage. I didn't have to. People in the comments asked questions she couldn't answer without exposing the truth. Then came the group chat again. My mom finally typed something short, clipped, and clearly not written for me. But about me. She said it wasn't right to hold money over people's heads. That family doesn't punish each other like this. My brother jumped in to agree. My cousin stayed quiet this time. I read it once and closed the app. Let them vent. Let them spin it however they wanted. None of them knew I'd already scheduled appointments with a lawyer and a financial advisor, not to sue, but to make sure none of them could ever access anything tied to my name again. They called it punishment. I called it closure. It was 4 days after I turned the financial faucet off when someone finally knocked on my door. I knew it wasn't a coincidence. No one visits me unannounced. Especially not family, not since I moved out and stopped picking up every call like I was on standby. I checked the peephole. My sister stood on the porch, arms crossed, eyes already rolling before I opened the door. I let her stand there for a full minute before opening it. No words, just enough space for her to realize she wasn't walking into a warm welcome. She didn't ask to come in. She didn't even say hello. She started talking the second I cracked the door. She said Mom was upset, that the house was a mess. That Christmas was ruined, that everyone was suffering because I chose to make a point. She talked like I'd walked away from a minor disagreement, not a lifetime of being used. I didn't respond. I let her talk herself in circles until she got to the real reason she was there. They wanted me to unlock the joint account just for a little while, just to cover the holidays, just until things settled down. I told her it was already closed permanently, not just frozen, shut down, transferred, replaced. The only thing left was a zero balance and a note at the bank that no one else could touch a cent without my ID in person. Her face dropped. I saw the flash of panic in her eyes, the part where she realized the safety net wasn't just yanked, it was shredded. She didn't argue after that. She left without another word, slammed the door on the way out. My hallway echoed for a full minute. An hour later, the group chat went silent. Not a word, not a message, not even a meme. It was the quietest holiday I'd had in years. And for the first time, I wasn't angry. I was free. I went back to work the day after New Year's. No fanfare, no resolutions, just the same desk, same projects, same inbox full of other people's fires. And it felt good, stable, quiet, mine. My team asked how the holidays went. I said they were restful. That wasn't a lie. For once, I hadn't spent them fixing someone else's mess. At lunch, I opened my phone and saw that the group chat had lit up again. My cousin had added me back. I thought about muting it, but curiosity won. Turns out the house lost power again. Mom forgot the due date. The water was on and off. My brother's car got towed after he got pulled over with expired tags and no proof of insurance. My sister was fighting with her landlord about late rent, trying to explain that her backup plan had disappeared. It would have been easy to feel smug, to bask in the mess they'd made. Instead, I screenshotted my spreadsheet, the one with all the charges, all the dates, all the proof, and posted it in the chat. No message, just the file. Then, I left the group. 2 minutes later, my mom tried to call. I declined. My sister followed with a message saying I'd gone too far. I blocked her. One by one, I closed every door they used to reach me. The best revenge wasn't watching them fall apart. It was realizing I didn't care anymore, that their chaos wasn't my burden, that I could wake up, drink my coffee, go to work, and live my life untouched by their drama. I booked a trip with the money I used to spend on them, a real vacation, not to escape, but to celebrate, because peace isn't something they ever gave me. I had to take it for myself, and this time, I wasn't giving it back. So, the holidays ended quietly. No more calls, no more messages. The group chat stayed dead, the house stayed theirs, along with all their chaos, but I wasn't there anymore. I wasn't the family fixer, the fallback, or the punchline. I was just me, someone who chose peace over drama, freedom over obligation. Family isn't always the people you're born to. Sometimes it's the people you choose to keep close. And sometimes the best thing you can do is walk away and build something better for yourself. This time, I'm finally doing just that. In a world full of silence, your like, comment, and subscription could be the voice that changes everything. Join the journey. Subscribe now.